And welcome to the KuyaChris and Friends podcast, Miss Dessa Hipolito. Please bless the mic with your song.
All right.
A year have passed by, still waiting here. After all the things I've done, why aren't you still with me? I think this waiting and all this hoping would all just end to waste. Could you tell me you're coming so I won't be waiting right here alone and wasting time? Until do I have to hold back? It's killing me so bad. I think it's time to let you go. Every day I missed you. Each day I pray you'd come to my life. All the tears that pour inside as I realize that all this waiting and all this hoping would all just end to waste. Can't you tell me you're coming so I won't be waiting right here alone and wasting time? Until do I have to hold back? It's killing me so bad. I think it's time to let you go. How would you know that I love you, that what I feel is true, if you won't give me a chance to say? Could you tell me you're coming so I won't be waiting right here alone and wasting time? Until do I have to hold back? It's killing me so bad, but I'm afraid to let you go.
Woo!
Yeah.
That was that heartthrob song.
I know.
That was like relationship sad happy song. Oh, that's in the feelings.
Relate.
Relatable. Whoa.
Yes.
Salamat.
Thank you.
Okay. Let me just change the recording setting right here. And boom. So, thank you for singing. You can put the guitar down and unplug it for now. And we can get to know you a little bit more. First,
Yes.
who are you?
Hello, I'm Dessa Hipolito, 22 years old from Quezon City, Philippines.
How can you achieve world peace?
Thank you. That's it.
So I know you because we both go to Skyline College. Shout out to Skyline College. All right. I first met you when? When did we? Was it PCN class?
No, it was during Kababayan. Liza's class, English 100.
Oh yeah. So you were there at my very first semester back at college.
Yes, we go way back.
That was 2015.
Yes,
2015. Spring of 2015, so January session. And then we were in a group project and all that. But I only got to know you more like a semester or two after.
Yeah, like during PCN.
During PCN class. Were you in the class? You were in the class, right? When we did the script writing.
Oh, not in the same class, like not in the same semester. I
Oh,
joined
yeah.
after a year.
Okay. So the way it works, Filipino Cultural Night, which does Filipino dances, but it's written by students at Skyline. And then one semester they do the script writing. I was in that class. And then the second semester is when they put the show on and produce the whole thing. And you were actually the producer.
Yes.
And you came in at the semester after I did the script writing. Oh, okay.
And
But
you know why I found out PCN?
why?
When we did Liza's class, she asked for extra credit and then to go to PCN. And that's when I first saw it. And I'm like, oh, I want to join this.
Wait, someone recruited you. Who recruited you to go?
Sam.
Sam, there you go. Yeah, because Sam
Had to leave.
had to leave in the middle of the semester, and she recruited you to come in, and you just took over.
I know.
You really like played a big deal in the last year and a half.
Honestly, I just wanted to act. When I went there, I just wanted to go back to theater because I used to go to theater back in the day, like grade school, high school, and then after I came here, I was looking where's the theater, and I did join PCN because of acting, but I didn't expect that I would do a major role like what I'm doing right now.
And this year, you were the producer again?
Yes, it's my second year producing.
So you produced PCN for 2 years in a row at
Yes.
Skyline College. That's leaving a legacy.
Yes. Thank
Okay,
you.
what I know about you, I want to get that full-on story. Let's rewind. All right. You just immigrated here when?
I remember, from what I remember, it's March 2013. So I went to New York first for like 3 months. I stayed there with my mom and my brother. And then I came here July 2013. And my dad lives here, so we stayed here. And at first I lived in Richmond.
Richmond.
Yes,
that's
like-
East Bay. That's East
We had
Bay.
to
North Bay. I don't know what that is. North Bay, East Bay?
North Bay.
North Bay.
Yeah.
That's already North Bay?
Yeah, and then I had to wait for I think a year or like a whole semester before I was able to go back to school
Why?
because of the residency status. So you have to wait 1 year before you get the same tuition.
Oh.
Yeah, because it's like 3 times expensive if you just go.
If you're like considered an international student, out of state student like that. Oh, even for community college.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember my first semester I paid like 300 out of pocket before I was able to get the waivers and all because I did not know the proper paperwork to sign and everything. But that's a trip because you immigrated from the Philippines. How old were you?
I was 18 when I came
You
here.
were 18. And I know that you were actually going to college in the Philippines.
I took 1 year before I came here. So I was in the University of the Philippines, Diliman.
UP Diliman, shout out with the nice trees, the big campus,
Yeah, it's super big.
the activistas.
But I didn't really get to enjoy most of it because I was part of the fencing varsity team back in UP. So I was there training almost every day. So we didn't really get to go join organizations. We just focused school, like go to school and then go to training right after.
Damn, that's legit.
Yeah.
That's like, whoa, that's professional level fencing. So you did that a lot in the Philippines.
For more than a year. Yeah.
You told me that you got scholarship to actually go to UP because of fencing.
Yes. So I was originally gonna go to La Salle. I'm not sure.
Oh, so
And-
siya.
La Salista.
La Salista.
Yeah, there's a lot-
Same as the Atenista.
Yeah, there's a lot
Shout
of
out.
like
I don't mean to be rude.
yeah, there's a lot of stereotypes that people probably don't know, but it is common. I mean, it's like that. They call the people there conyo.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's common, but just people just laugh right about it.
Yeah.
It's not something like
I mean, I would be a conyo.
You
if
are.
I'm a conyo in the Philippines, the ones who goes like, just make tusok the fishbowl. Punta tayo sa mall.
I can't. But my friends are most of my friends are like that.
Our conyo?
Yeah.
That's the Manila has just been overtaken by conyos.
Yes.
It's
yes.
just like Instagram has taken over and everybody's on that same English speaking tip.
True.
And it's just overcome the culture. It's kind of crazy.
Some people I know, they grew up they lived there, was born there, grew up there, but they prefer speaking English.
Yeah, that's
A lot of them.
whole another thing to unpack.
Yeah.
I know folks, I won't be specific, but I know folks who are teaching their kids just English. And it's kind of sad because when you come here and you speak to Filipino Americans who grew up here, who are even born here, a lot of them were like, damn, I wish I knew Tagalog. I really wish, like, my parents taught me that language. And then in the Philippines, you'll have people who just want to speak English. It's kind of this deep, messed up colonial mentality, as the academics will say. But you said, okay.
Yeah, I remember when we were in. So I grew up in an all-girls school, so Catholic school.
You went to an all-girls school?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I'm so conservative. No, but for
Until high school.
yeah, until high school.
Oh.
So from like nursery to high school, so I took 11 years in the same college, Miriam College. Yeah, that's what they call
Where is
all-girls
that?
school.
Is that in Quezon City also?
Yeah, it's in
Miriam? I
Katipunan.
know I've
Beside
heard of
Ateneo. Yeah, so it's so Miriam is all girls school and then Ateneo is all boys school. So that's when
Ateneo is an all-boys school?
only till high school. But I think they changed it recently. Now the
Oh.
high school has girls.
Oh.
Like 2 years ago, I think, or last year.
Oh, I didn't know that. Because I know La Salle was integrated, I think, high school.
Yeah, it's all boys, I think.
Also?
But I think there's several La Salles.
Oh.
So there's Saint Benilde. Is it?
I know the one in Green Hills.
The
I
Green
don't
Hills
think-
is all guys. Yeah.
Really?
Uh-huh.
I thought that was...
I used to volunteer. Oh, sorry. I used to volunteer in La Salle, and
For what?
It's called Saint Brother Miguel Academy.
So you volunteered at an all-boys school.
Yeah, no, I volunteer there to
Oh.
teach younger
Oh, okay.
kids.
Oh, okay,
So
okay,
they
okay,
would
that's
bring kids from how do you say it? Like rural areas, and they would teach them like from public schools. They would bring them there. We would have workshops like music, PE, math, and we would be like their tutors. And then we would also like feed them. There's also
And then they would send them back. Oh.
Yeah. And we have that like every Saturday. We also went to church all together, even with the kids.
Wait, you volunteered at the La Salle in Green Hills.
That was probably
Artigas, shout out to the traffic on Artigas.
Super traffic.
Y'all are super traffic picking up your kids from school, yo. I'm trying to go to Green Hills to shop, and then they're just parked on the side of the road, like just waiting with their drivers and the bodyguards. Go on, just
No
kidding.
traffic rules. Yeah. But that was one of my first volunteer experiences, I would say, when I was in high school.
Dang, so how was that experience growing up in an all-girls school in the Philippines too?
It's so different. Like, how do you say it? When I first came here, I was so shocked by how conversations like just went around, like, something. How do you say it?
Oh, like gossip, chismes?
Yeah, or no, like explicit stuff
Oh,
here.
really?
You
You
know?
were surprised?
Yeah, I was shocked. Like, I don't know how to react. I'm not like, it's not like, oh, they're like bad people, I'm judging them. But it's more of like culture shock. Because in the
Oh.
Philippines, I don't know if it's just us, but maybe it's just our school, but our conversations don't really like are not that explicit because there would be rules that we had to follow. Like we can't be boisterous, so we can't be loud, laughing loudly. Our skirts had to be in a certain, and every year we had to take Christian class.
So you didn't get a culture shock when you went from the high school to UP?
Probably not that much because it's in the same area and the people that I hung out with was mostly my friends too.
Oh.
Yeah.
See, okay, let's dissect this because I want to know then what your reaction to and how you've transitioned to living in the States. Here, coming into Skyline, what was your initial experience and jumping into like this American life?
Well, before I go to the part where I went to Skyline, I just wanted to like express like how hard it is to like when you first come here and you don't know anyone. And then even I took a year off before I went back to school. It wasn't that sad, but I would say there were moments where I felt like I was depressed because, change of environment.
You went to a whole new country.
Yeah, like I came here because I decided, I want to stay with my dad. It's like I didn't see him for 10 years, so I had to.
You didn't see him for 10 years?
Almost 10 years. I would say 8 years exactly.
Why? Was he working here? He came here to work?
He came here in 2000. And then he stayed here. He couldn't come back home because the ticket was expensive. He had 5 kids. He had to feed, which is, we all went to, all of us went to private schools because my parents want us to have a good life.
So how did he get here? As a working visa?
I think so, yeah.
And then he eventually applied for citizenship and all that?
Yeah.
So he was the first one to move here from your family. Damn, what did he do? What was his job?
I think he was an architect, in an architecture firm. Is that
yeah.
I think so they design marble stuff and all that. So, but then he had stroke when he was 2006 or 2007. So that was really big. Like he couldn't go back to his work, and then he had a hard time finding work again. That's the same. So he had 3 multiple jobs. Like he did 7-Eleven. He even did how do you say it?
Car wash?
In Manila Bay. He did the dishwashing.
Oh yeah, dishwashing.
Yeah, and then several. I don't know what else he took, but he had several jobs just so that he could send money back to us. But then when he had heart stroke, he was someone called 911. So thank God, his half his body was paralyzed at a certain time, but he got a heart stent. I don't know what you call that.
I don't know.
Surgery. Yeah, and then he feels better, but he can't go back to his normal work, so he had to go back to the Philippines, and then my mom became the breadwinner for some time.
And then did she come here?
Yeah, she came here, but she had more work in New York, so she stayed there.
Whoa, that's a big struggle back and forth.
Yeah. So for us, we also even in the Philippines, we moved a lot, probably not a lot, but at least 2 times or 3 times we moved because we had to, how do you say it? Adapt to the changes. So my mom, when she had work, she would be the one. And then my dad would go to the Philippines every 6 months so he could take care of us, but he didn't have work. And then he came back here, I think around 2010 or something like that. And he started working again. And then when we were about to be high school, when I was when I was in college, sorry, my dad and my mom, they asked, do you want to go here? And this is the time that you can go here. This is the best time. So I went here with my little brother because we were under 21. So we would qualify for
immigration.
Yeah. So we went here. We actually went here with tourist visa, but then we got lucky that the current
Process of
priority was
priority.
the people who were currently applying.
Oh.
So we got it in like a year, the green card, really fast. Yeah, we applied and then that's why I think we're very lucky.
Yeah, especially now in this like shifting environment of, especially regarding immigration, and then we don't really know where the policies will change or like shift towards in the next upcoming years.
It's very difficult. Plus, like if we had to like pay the lawyers. We were actually petitioned like 10 years ago. But we didn't get, like all five of us were supposed to go to the States earlier, but it got declined or it got canceled for some reason. And we even paid like millions and millions of, not millions and millions, but probably almost $1 million pesos just to process the thing.
The papers,
Yeah, but we didn't get it, so yeah.
Yes, okay, so damn, that's like a history worth knowing. You know, just to really illustrate the struggle that some families have to bring their children here. First off, to support their kids in the Philippines, right? So many OFWs around the world, right? Overseas Filipino workers have left their families in the Philippines to send money back. And then now, the struggle that your parents went through to get you here, and it separated some of your family. It separated your family, right? Because I know your mom is in New York right now.
My sister is there too.
And your sister.
My two older brothers are in the Philippines because they can't go here.
And then
we petitioned them. They're in the process right now, but it's gonna take like 10 years probably.
And then you are here with your younger brother and your dad.
Yes.
So the family, even just the immediate family, split in 3 different locations.
So if you think about it, we haven't been together like in a house for a long time, like 16, 17 years since my dad left. And I don't think we're gonna be all together again since my sister's married. You know, I mean, we've seen each other for last December, like 2 years ago. That was our first Christmas vacation all together that we were complete. But it's not gonna happen that we're all gonna live together because we're all like old now, you know.
Yeah.
And I remember when I was growing up in high school, I had no parents, and like the struggles of the kids growing up without parents is also different. We were like raised up not to be that emotional, but rather thankful that we have these opportunities. That's why I kind of tried to do good in school, but it's still it's different that other people have like supporting parents that are always there. Plus when you go here, like you're used to not having someone tell you things, you should do this, you should do that.
So now you have someone.
Yeah, because you grew up independently, and like when I came here, I want to be like, I want to have friends and all that. So I try to be outgoing. I would always stay outside, and that's when I started to have like problems with my parents because I'm a rebel. I'm not a rebel, but you know what I'm saying.
She's like so American. You are too liberated.
Yeah, it's like.
What are you doing out gallivanting?
Yeah, like the PCN place. Exactly. Those stories are so true.
Those are all your stories that you wrote into the place.
True. Yeah.
You remember what you were saying? You remember those first times?
No, I remember I put in one of my essays, like they said that not because you're here. My dad would always say, not because you're here in America doesn't mean that you should have the same values or you should do the same things as your friends. So one thing is like going outside, for example, like being there, I always had a curfew, and then I would always ask like, why my other friends, like they're all not even 21 yet, but they get to go outside like a lot. And for me, I want to stay outside at night, and I would get in trouble. Those kinds of things. And like not sleeping over, he wouldn't allow me. It's just, but now it's better. Because
it was just that first few years, like especially transitioning here, like you're under a parent's like guidance and all that. But in the Philippines, you weren't. Who did you live with in the Philippines?
So my older sister was kind of our guardian all the time. Yeah.
So how was that transition jumping into, let's talk about that Skyline College transition. From what I know about you though, you've like established a good social circle in Skyline Community College. Skyline College, that's our home. But what's dope about you, what I've seen, is you know all the like Phil-born Filipinos speaking Tagalog. You're at the Dessa, and I'm like, oh, she knows all of them. And then you also have connected with the American-born Filipinos, Kev, a lot of the people in KLC. So tell me, talk a little bit on your experience of going into Skyline College, and what was that like for you? As an immigrant, right? Your first year, and this like almost culture shock, you said.
I remember my first day, it was so different. Like, I wanted to join organizations or clubs as soon as like I got into school, and I wanted to know more about the school. That's why. And
You're pretty outgoing, pretty like extroverted.
Kind of, yeah. I would say I was more extrovert before than now, yeah. And then I asked my friends, I heard them speaking Filipino, so I was like, oh, do you know where the clubs are? Do you know what? And then they were like, I don't know. And then they just started to introduce themselves, and they introduced their friends and the friends of
Did
the
you
friends.
ask them in Tagalog?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so, alam niyo ba kung nasan yung clubs tsaka yung ano, like that.
Woo!
And my English wasn't good before. It's still not good, but you know,
It's
like
good.
it was different. It was
Okay.
different, yeah. So, that's how I got to meet my friends, and I would always hang out with them. I tried to hang out as much as I can with them, and then I started to have friends that are non-Filipinos. So, like Chinese or American, so a lot of different friends, and some of them they were born here, so it was different. Maybe some of them aren't very good influence, I would say.
Really? What do you mean? Like why? Why are you good
It's
influence?
recording.
You can talk big, you don't have to call out the
Really?
name. You don't have to say
Okay.
who they are, but what do you mean? About just so we can have like this perspective.
I
What do you
mean,
not that
some
good
of
influence?
them, how you say it, had vices. Is that too direct?
No, that's super indirect.
Yeah,
Drinking.
so some
What are
yeah, so
vices?
some of them like drank, yeah. And then even other Filipinos like who were just like immigrants like me were also into that, like drinking. They were older. Most of them. Some of them are older, and they're like normal, like typical. Oh, inuman na, like
You
that.
know,
inuman.
Kelly. Joke.
No, but some of them, yeah. And then I shouldn't post. I'm scared. Okay, let's not show this to my family. No, for real, like,
Just share what you're comfortable
yeah,
with.
so
you know?
that's when I started to like, my grades were kind of, and then I would experience my first heartbreak.
What?
Yeah. And that's when
At Skyline?
yeah, I don't want to,
Okay,
I don't want
we
to say anyone.
We don't have to say specifics, but maybe you can touch on the lessons or the experience of it to think about what this experience did to you. Maybe it could be relatable to someone, right?
Yeah.
And what's the lesson you've gotten out of it?
It's good to enjoy yourself, I guess, but it's different when you're trying to find like your social group. The difference of being truly happy and just being happy because you have people around you. You get it?
So there's a difference between actually being truly happy or trying to find happiness by surrounding yourself with people.
Just probably because I was alone for a year and I felt like, and I was used to like having a lot of friends when I was in the Philippines too. So once I got friends, then I feel like, oh, and this is the start of something new. Start of something.
But
Yeah.
what?
But it didn't turn out that those friends were exactly. I can't say.
Yeah, you're too nice to say anything bad.
Yeah, but it's
it
just-
wasn't the best for you at that time.
yeah, because I needed to grow, and in order for me to grow, I need people who would help me to grow. Kind of. Yeah.
So you don't think that specific subset of friends at that time was conducive to your growth?
Yes, because I had goals in mind, but I kind of swayed or went back and forth because I wasn't focused on like the goals that I needed. But then I don't regret everything that happened because all those things is what I am right now.
True.
And I learned something, And I still think of them as a friend, and I know I still have memories, So I don't think it's unnecessary part of my life.
True. It's like you're not mad at them or dissing them or saying that they're bad people. It's just it doesn't fit into the overall bigger picture. And if we're talking about where we want to get to. Like, because they say, right, you are who you surround yourself with. You're an average of the top 5 people you surround yourself with, and like that. So I'm gonna be like a Lola and a Mama. Who else do I surround myself with? And a dog. Shout out to Sexy My Dog. Follow her on @SexyThePitMix on Instagram, baby. But what was your transition out of that circle? What made you think about, it's not really the best? And then how did you build a new circle of folks that is conducive to your growth?
So when I started PCN, maybe that was spring 2014 or 2000.
Can you speak just a little bit more about PCN? Like, explain what that is for folks who may just know like a surface level, because we were just saying, it's like a play, Filipino Cultural Night with Filipino stuff. But what exactly?
Filipino Cultural Night is held by different universities and colleges around I would say not just California, but around the US. It's a show that produces Filipino and Filipino American experience through play, theater, art, and songs, dances. And it's a 2 to 5 hour play depending on which school depending on which school you go.
I've seen the 5 hour ones.
Yeah. And most of the time it's a student-led production for each school, and they write their own stories, Filipino American issues, and they put it in a play. They also add cultural dances and songs. So it shows to the American audience or Filipino American audience what are the issues today. And hopefully, at least our PCN, our goal is for people to start making conversations about these issues.
So I think it actually originated in San Francisco State University, like the very first one, right?
Yes.
But what's special about Skyline is that y'all are one of the only 2-year colleges that have it consistently. What is it this year? Was it
I think it's a 12.
the 12? So going strong for 12 years as a 2-year college. Mad respect. What you were saying is when you entered PCN.
When I entered PCN, that was probably the first time I really got to know Filipino American students like you. Kevin, who else? Everyone else who was there in PCN.
But that's weird. I wasn't in the class.
Yeah, but
how did...
you're kababayan.
Yeah.
PCN was my way to really get to know kababayan. Because when my first class, I wasn't really that active in different things. I started with Model United Nations as a club, but
you were in that club?
yeah, I was in my first semester in Skyline. I already joined MUN because my major was international relations, and I did MUN before when I was in high school. Kind of, yeah. And when I first went to Kababayan, that's where I really found, family. Especially that they really showed me what true leadership is, or which is about being compassionate to your friends, you know, understanding where they're coming from, understanding what they're struggling with in order for you to really serve them with what they need. Just being a friend is being a leader, I would say. Yeah.
Lalim! Nakikilig na ako! Yes! Dessa for
So
mayor!
cheesy.
2018, Dessa will run for city council of
No.
Daly City.
No. But
That's Kababayan Learning Community at Skyline College.
and it was so life-changing because I would say I became more nationalistic, because when Filipino Americans, I would say at least the people in Kababayan, like you, Kevin, and everyone else, they are more in love with Philippines, I would say, than most Filipinos that I know in the Philippines. You know, they really try to learn, like, for example, what do we call it? The alphabet?
Bye-bye.
Baybayin, that's one. Speaking Filipino, you try to speak Filipino even if that's not your native. I'm not native. No, you're fluent.
Yeah. Or they call it native tongue.
Native tongue.
Yeah, if it's not your native language.
Yeah. So I'm really glad that they made me learn what it is to be Filipino. At least in your description, I would say.
Do you think that's weird that not weird, I would say, but awesome, but also something to think about, that you got more nationalistic being here in Kababayan than when you're in the Philippines, growing up in the Philippines through college, through even first year of college. Why do you think that is? What?
Probably because I surround myself more here with Kababayan folks. Like, all the Kababayan classes are Filipino related. Like, the issues, we talk about issues that we don't even talk about in the Philippines. And we do have Filipino classes, history classes, but maybe my experience wasn't that touching as I had here. Because there is just, history class about the Philippines. Oh, wow, this is about this is about that. But it's not really like, I should really do something about it, or, you know. And there are a lot of people who would really try to westernize themselves, right? Maybe, but then the people here, it's mostly like, this is how I am. I'm a Filipino. A lot of us have the pressure to really find our identities, because I would say, how do you say it? A lot of people are confused about their identity, being Filipino American or Filipino themselves, immigrants here. Because once they start to go here, you know, they're confused. Who's their friends? What are they? Like, am I an immigrant? Am I trying to be a Filipino American? Because when I start getting oppressed, where do I go, or what do I call myself? So a lot of these questions end up being confused, but with Kababayan, that's where I really, how do you say it, find the answers to the questions that I had before.
That's dope. It's kind of crazy to think about the Westernization of Filipinos in the Philippines, right? The glorification of Western standards of acting, like through speech or even beauty, wanting to look a certain way. But then once you get here, you realize that the ideals that you're looking for, they view you still as the other. You're like, wait, I've been striving to be Western and idealizing that, but once I'm here, you're still considered something different because you're not a mainstream American. You don't look American. You look like an immigrant. You look like a certain way. As hard as you try, you're still otherized. And then I think that's one of the reasons actually why folks here see the almost contradiction in wanting to be something Western within a place what the Western, how would you say, power structures still otherize you. And it's just like, why? I'm Filipino. That's how you find, you're like, come on, let's learn everything by buying. I'm lapu-lapu. Let me tattoo myself with Filipino stuff. To really try to find something, right? A sense of identity. But it's kind of, I think sometimes it can get overboard, like the whole identity searching. But I think it's also important to have a certain base to understand who you are and where you've come from, where you fit in, and realistically, not idealistically, like where you want to fit in, but where do you fit in terms of all the social and cultural factors at play, and then really see it for reality, then just take action from there, right? On this topic, what do you like to label yourself as? Filipino, Pinay, Pinoy, Filipina, FilAm, human being? What? What's your label? What did you answer in my survey?
I put Filipina.
Filipina.
Yes, I've always identified myself as Filipina. Maybe even when I was in the Philippines. But if I would add that, I would say a Filipina immigrant. Maybe that's more relatable right now.
It's very specific to your experience so far. Okay, so as a Filipina immigrant, I want to give some claps because you are in the process of transferring out of Skyline College, right?
Finally, after 3 years.
That's standard. That's straight up. As an immigrant and having to go through that process of learning a whole new system, you have to take pride in seeing your accomplishment for what it is. Would you like to speak on about where you're planning on going?
Yes, I got accepted into UC San Diego.
San Diego.
Yes.
Hello, Filipinos down there too.
I know. I won't get out. Yay.
We're sucking you in. Come, move as you may. We are here.
Yeah, so I'm moving to San Diego by September, hopefully, to major in political science and concentration of international relations.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So you're gonna be a diplomat.
Hopefully.
You're gonna be our ambassador.
That's the original plan, and we'll see
So
where
we
it
should.
finds.
So we should delete all the videos that you have attached to me, or else your reputation will be destroyed. You're
Delete
associated with KuyaChris.
No.
Do you know? Did you search for Christian Guerrero?
I'm
Do you know what
beginning.
comes up? That wasn't me. That wasn't me in the video.
No, I just look like that.
Yeah. They just stole my name. Okay. Why did you choose to go into? First, congrats.
Thank you.
I actually went to the transfer achievement dinner yesterday. Were you
really?
working? How come you weren't there?
I was working. Yeah.
I felt out of place. I was like, I don't know anyone here. And then, but it was formal. I just was happy because there was free food.
Really?
I signed up. I was like, yes, free food. I went for seconds and everything. But there's a good amount of people, and they announced where people were transferring to and everything. So it's actually good to see. Tell me what your feelings right now are about finishing at Skyline and then at the cusp of transferring and moving.
It's so nerve-wracking just thinking that this is the first time I'll be living by myself in UC San Diego. No one, I don't know anyone. I probably know one person who's transferring and that's it. But ending Skyline is just, I'm so happy, but at the same time I have regrets too because I feel like I can do more for that community that I'm very thankful for, because community college, like as you say, you know, not a lot of people appreciate what community college can do, but me as an immigrant, I think community college is the best way to really not just try to assimilate or adapt to your environment, but also find who you are. Because the community in Skyline have been very helpful. Most of them are very helpful. and giving you the resources that you need. You know, talking to you and taking care of you really well, especially the kababayan learning community.
This sounds like an ad for Skyline
Yeah.
College.
I know.
Thanks to our sponsors, Skyline Community College and SMCCD and Kababayan Learning
Yeah.
Community.
Oh, but honestly, I'm grateful because of the diversity. That's one thing that, you know, I feel accepted in a place where I'm lucky that I got in Skyline rather than other community college.
Yo, and you excel too. You really embrace the position because think about it. You immigrant, right? And stepping into with no social circle, you actually were a senator this year at the ASSC.
So from senator, I was elected as commissioner of activities, which is the person who take care of events, like help the co-leads.
Yeah, I know you helped lead this year's Filipino American History Month celebration.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I think that's the first celebration that they did for ASSC. So
for the Filipino American Month. Dope.
yeah, I'm really glad it happened, and a lot of the folks, like the teachers and organizations, were there to help out, which I'm very thankful for. Yes.
Dope to have a whole month. You did. That's when I did my report.
Yes.
My
the
Philippine,
KBKN
my
report.
KVKN report.
There
and
was a sari, which was
like a vendor sale, like Filipino vendors,
Yeah, and
FilAm
also-
businesses, and
organizations. like
organizations.
Filipino
Yes.
for Justice. Pawa was there. The publishing yeah. And then who else? Laya was there.
Youth for Change in Action,
Yes.
baby. Go to layayouth.com. LAYAWYOUTH. I stumbled up. How do you spell youth? And it was dope. It was a good month. It was, and then we had lectures. Who else?
Jeremy with,
Villaluz.
what's his name?
Shout out
Benito.
to Enclave.
Yeah,
His
Enclave.
project about Jeremy Villaluz, Jeremy Keith Villaluz, I believe. I'll link his Instagram also, but he's a photographer out in I don't know if he lives in Daly City, but he grew up around here, and he's photographed a lot of the changing scenery, changing like infrastructure of Daly City from, he called it, I believe, the hidden enclave, where there's so many Filipinos, but you can't really tell just by looking at how Daly City is set up, but you can tell by the people within it. So it's like this kind of hidden, like, where are they? You only see the Filipinos at ceremony, right?
True.
We see all these Chinatowns, we see other ethnic Japantown, but we don't have a true representation of the people within Daly City in terms of its culture and its wealth. Except all the restaurants. That's all, but you have to hunt down on Yelp for it, you know? So that was dope. That was a great event, and he brought out the writer of Pinoy Capital, right? That talked about Daly City being Pinoy Capital, 33% Filipino. Excuse me. So that was dope. So you did well. You excelled at Skyline.
Yeah, I tried my best because I felt that my, how do you say it? I just really became involved because when I started PCN and I became producer, my friends gave me confidence to actually lead in a setting where I thought that would be hard at first. So, especially that I couldn't really communicate well with non-Filipinos at first. Being insecure of my English skills, or also I always stutter all the time. So, but when I really got the confidence from them, I started joining ASSC. Then I joined Laya, where I met them during RTSB when you guys were tabling. And then Laya really, the people are, how do you say it? The members are all very, they communicate well in a sense that they say the things that I want to say in such a way that are very effective, like the way you communicate with other people. And maybe that's one thing that helped me what I am right now in communicating as a leader to my fellow colleagues. And from ASSC, I also met other organizations or committees within Skyline. So I'm part of Institutional Effectiveness Committee, so I'm the student representative for that. So we look at the data or research that the Skyline does, and when in terms of success rates or college completion, class completions, and all that, which was something very intimidating for me at first, but I learned a lot about it.
What have y'all found out about student success and everything?
So I believe that less than 50% actually transfers.
Really?
Yeah, so the population in Skyline, it's very, very, very low completion rate to what we expect, because there's a lot of different factors, such as like income, for example. How do you say? Income. What else?
Time.
Time.
But it's less than 50%. Damn, that's actually a high attrition rate. I didn't know it was that high. But dang, well, I'm glad we're transferring.
I know. But there are people who take 7 years in Skyline. I know some people who have been there for a while, but you know, they're doing what they have to do.
Yeah, because honestly, sometimes the reality is a lot of these folks are also working alongside. They can max take 1-2 classes a semester, and it's challenging. I have mad respect for some of the folks I've met at Skyline, and you don't. I was talking about the differences between going to a 4-year immediately versus community college, and one thing from my community college experience is you do get to meet a wider range of people, from my understanding, especially working professionals, like who are trying to re-entry students return and further their education, but it's for real a struggle. Like some are working with kids. We have folks with kids who are just trying to finish their requirements in order to get that degree and succeed, and it's very respectable. And I have mad respect and love for them, and I really hope to see them succeed. But it's a really dope place to see like the range of human potential, and also where we're all starting, because we also start in different spots, right? I'm very grateful to be going back, but I felt hella old, and sometimes I'm like, oh shit,
KuyaChris.
I'm Kuya, yeah. And then I just embraced it. I was like, fuck it, I'm Kuya. Call me Manong, whatever. But it's also inspiring to be around the younger group too, right? Being 18, folks who are 18, 19, and then I'm 25 now, and just seeing like, yo, okay, y'all can do this, y'all can hustle, and y'all can succeed. If I can do it, you can do it, right? And I can do it. Okay, can you share with me a little bit about where you're planning on going with your international relations degree, and why you are pursuing that?
So my original plan was to go and graduate with international relations, and then either take masters in the same field, or take international law, which would, after that, I would try to go back to the Philippines and take the foreign bar exam. Hopefully from there, I don't know if I'll... That was my original plan, to work for embassy. I wanted to work with the UN. That was like the end goal. Like the first time I went to UN when I was in New York before. That's when I was like, oh, I wanna be here. I wanna work for the United Nations, go to different countries, explore with different cultures, find out what their issues or the challenges of different people. And from that, I was just interested in international relations. But now that I've learned so much from community college, I'm probably going to still do similar things like that, but more probably touch on immigration too, like at least some field of that. But I don't, honestly, I just really want to learn it.
Just learn about it
Yeah.
more and then see where your path will change up in the future.
Yes.
And that'll be very, we need a lot more immigration lawyers, especially within the Filipino community. Like, that's one of the big topics of discussion now. But we also need, in my opinion, a lot more of us, FilAms, even Philborn, American born, to go back to the Philippines and see how we can actually contribute and give back, right? Because I know we give a lot of pride, yeah, Filipino, but then if it just ends there, it's kind of what's the use? But kind of Filipino if you don't go back and actually do something for the Philippines and for the communities there. So I'm actually looking forward to seeing folks go back, hopefully. Diplomat
Will I see you?
Dessa.
Will I see you there?
I want to, my goal is to have something where I can be 6 months here, 6 months there. And I'm torn because I love my community here. I love the Philippines. And it's a different world though when you go back. It really is lightweight, a different pace of life too, and how you do things and how you can get work done. And honestly, I'm not super exposed to the same type of communities as I am exposed to here, right? The same type of organizing or community organizations, even people who think the same way as me, especially even within education. So I still have to explore it a little bit more.
But you have to also think that you're actually helping the Philippines already, I would say. Even if you're not physically there in the Philippines, you're helping the Filipinos here in the US. And
yeah, but it's lightweight. Yeah, but that's
not
lightweight. That's lightweight.
You inspire a lot of Filipino immigrants. You should be.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. Why don't you sing us a Tagalog song?
Okay, since we're talking about Philippines.
Yes.
Cool.
So what song will you be singing?
I'll be singing Torete by Moonstar 88.
Torete. Okay.
Yes.
So I'm going to stop this recording real quick. Then at least the camera is running. And boom, the audio for the guitar should be working now. So please bless this mic. What does Torete mean? Torete.
Torete is it's you're blank. You have empty. You're, how do you say it?
No,
You're kind of like that. Yeah.
You're just stuck.
It's
thinking.
Yeah.
Your brain is not working.
Yeah, or something it's either that or it's crazy. I'm crazy thinking about you.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the song.
Oh, is this dedicated to anyone in particular? Is this inspired by?
Nah, no. Maybe my past love. No.
Where's the feels? Are you the feels just as I am? At the Dessa?
No.
Shall we talk about relationships and emotions after the podcast?
We're gonna take forever if we talk about relationships.
No, we can. Let's see where it goes after the
right.
song. Okay. Bless the mic, please.
Sandali na lang maaari bang pagbigyan? Aalis na nga. Maaari bang hawakan ang iyong
start the recording and boom. Awesome. Thank you for singing for us.
Yes, you're welcome.
So, I guess that's an invitation to talk about relationships. How has your relationship adventure been here in the United States?
Complicated. Status is complicated. No.
Let me ask actually, because if you're comfortable to share, I know that you've dated and are dating someone who has a different culture than you.
Yes.
He is.
Yes, Christopher Lee.
No, I didn't have the specific.
You didn't have to say the
shout
name.
Out the specific, shout out Christopher, but I meant like he's Chinese.
Yeah, he is Chinese.
Okay.
Yes, he's an ABC, American-born Chinese.
I didn't even know that they have
Specifically. You didn't know that?
I didn't know what ABC.
Yeah, they call ABC.
American-born Chinese. What the?
Yeah, that's common.
I know ABG.
Oh, but ABCs are American-born Chinese.
Okay.
Yes.
So, what has the experience like?
It's very hard. I mean, it's easy because of him as a person. He's very nice. He's down to earth. He's easy to get along with. But the language barrier is one of the biggest things. Like the communication, the way I perceive things is different from him. He grew up, I would say, more privileged than others, or at least more than privileged than me. And sometimes when I started learning here in Skyline what privilege is about, then I started comparing myself, and and that's when you don't understand where I'm coming from, like you didn't experience the same thing that I did, and all that. So dramatic. But he understands everything, and he's not taking advantage of what he has.
So he speaks Mandarin.
He speaks Mandarin, but he's more fluent in English because he was born here. He grew up here. Yeah.
But there's been struggle with language, even if both of you speak English, is still translating in your head and everything.
The way he uses his words, the way he expresses himself is different from me. How do you say it? He's very formal. His English is too formal. Are you at work? This is not a business. When we argue, he talks
how's that formal? That's formal? Are you at work?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, when you're writing emails and then you use certain words so that it's not too informal. That's how he is when he argues. Oh, shit. I'm in the camera. Yeah, but that's one of the small things that we argue about.
Okay,
Yeah.
from that argument, or knowing that you argue, I want to switch it to what advice do you have for couples who are whether there's a communication barrier from language or interracial, like that. What are your
I don't think I'm the best person to give advice.
You don't want to give advice?
I will give them advice, but I don't think it's the right person. But if you would plan to go to an interracial relationship or a relationship that's different from what you're used to, I would say just always be understanding. And don't think that they don't understand you. They probably don't, but see, this is bad advice. No, but you should be patient. Be very patient, because it takes time for you to really understand the other person. And even if they don't understand you, you should also think that you might not understand them, so it's two-way sometimes. Yeah. So just be patient and be accepting.
I wanted to ask, use that as a transition then from relationship advice. What advice, I like to close this out, what advice would you give, 3 pieces of advice you would give to a newly immigrated Filipina? Around the age, what are you what were you
I was
20,
18.
18,
yeah, 18 to 22.
And you can make it broad if you want to Filipino, but you could also be specific to a Filipino. But what is to that youth who's coming to a new country with already who have grown up in another country but is trying to build community in a new home? 3 pieces of advice.
3?
3, tatlo. May tatlong baby ako'y nakita. Mataba, mapayat mga baby. Ha. Tatlo. Get into an interracial relationship.
No.
Don't listen to your parents.
No.
Join KLC.
Maybe I'm gonna give advice based on my experience. The first one is the hardest one, but be yourself. That's very cliche, but it's true. You have to be yourself. Keep reminding yourself who you are. Why? I mean, what you were in the Philippines. Like, don't. How do you say it? In Tagalog, they say, "Magpinagbalik sa pinabalingan." Kinagalingan. Something like that.
Bumalik sa pinanggalingan.
Yeah, something like that.
That's the Jose Rizal's
Sa
quote, right?
panaroroonan. Something like that, yeah.
Yung
You know
hindi
that.
marunong lumingon sa
pinanggalingan.
pinanggalingan, hindi makakarating
Rating sa paroroonan.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
He who does not know, he or she who does not know where they are from will not arrive at their destination. Shit.
Yeah.
Jose Rizal.
And being part of being yourself is also being grateful for what you were when you were in the Philippines. Meaning, don't forget your friends, don't forget the people who helped you to get here, or your parents especially. Yeah. But also, it's good to change for the better, but you still have to keep something for yourself. That's the first advice. The second advice would be find your resources. Always be curious. Meaning,
That's good.
maybe that was my way of getting to know Kababayan, getting to know all these organizations, all these communities, resources, because I was curious. I always asked, and I didn't just, float in the water, and let the sea carry me away. I know, I just made it up. But you get it? I mean, I went with the flow at some point, but I asked questions where to go. I didn't really
Try to catch the right wave
Yes.
by swimming out to it. Oh.
If you know that there's something that you're still curious about, don't be brave and ask questions. That's one important thing. Don't think that people would judge you if you speak in a different way, or if you misunderstand each other. There's always ways to understand each other, and you just have to learn. I mean, you just always have to be curious to find that way. Yeah. The last one would be
Dun, dun, dun.
I can't think anymore.
So you had be yourself
Be yourself, find your resources.
and find your resources.
And then
What's the third one?
third one, stay positive.
How do you stay positive?
You stay positive because you're probably gonna have a lot of things that's going on that's not gonna be as positive. That's not gonna make you feel positive or think positive. But I think if you find the right resources, like your right friends or right people that's around you, then you're gonna stay positive. That also is coinciding to staying with positive friends, right? Because you said earlier that the 5 people around you are what you are. And if you stay positive, even if you're having a hard time here in the States as an immigrant, then you're going to find purpose to what you really want to do. You're going to find and reach your goals if you stay positive. I think
That's good.
that's mostly it.
What's your going away message to KLC and the other KLC students and advice for them, but also your message
I'm gonna
for the
start
next
crying.
generation?
Crying. Thank you. Thank you very much, because you all gave me a family that I never expected I would have. You helped me realize the struggles that I went through, why it happened, the purpose of those struggles, and you gave me direction to where I really want to be. You gave me confidence. My mentors, my teachers, my friends, all the people that I met in Kababayan made me realize my purpose again as a Filipino immigrant, as a daughter, as a friend, as a leader, and all that. But Kababayan has really inspired me to just keep doing what I'm doing.
What is your purpose?
What is my purpose, KuyaChris?
What is your purpose? You just said KLC has helped you find that. If you could share it or give words to it, what is your purpose?
Anywhere or everywhere I go, I would always be representing the Filipino community, I would say. At some part, I feel if I do international relations or any kind of job, I would be bringing what I learned from Kababayan, and from there, I would give the knowledge to other people, and that's what I think my purpose is in any kind of job, whatever I take. I'll be bringing the values that I learned from Kababayan, and I think that's my main purpose.
That's dope.
Yes.
You know, it's crazy to think that we enter that space, right? And we take classes from Liza, Rod, Grace, and to think that we're kind of carrying them along with us where we go to different places because of the education, the culture, the lessons, the changes that we've gone through because of KLC. It's like, oh, put you in my backpack. You're coming with me along this journey. It's close to what you're saying about that representation.
Yeah. And I feel like they've really, truly shaped or prepared us into the next chapter of our lives.
Skyline College, baby!
Woo!
KLC, baby! Kababayan Learning Community! With Ate Dessa Hipolito. How do you say it? Hipolito.
Hipolito, Dessa.
Hipolito.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any last message?
Thank you, KuyaChris.
Thank you for coming
Kuya
on.
Christian,
Thank
for
you. How
giving
can-
me this opportunity to talk.
How can people contact you?
Add me on Facebook, Dessa Hipolito. And also you can email me if you have any other questions. I don't know what kind of questions they will pop up, but Dessa.
Are you on Tinder?
Not anymore. Maybe maybe in a month. Okay.
Don't say
No,
jokes like that.
I know. I always say jokes like that. You can email me at dessakishley@gmail.com. Follow me on Instagram.
Dessa what? Kish?
Dessa Kishley. That's my first name. I mean, I have two first names. Dessa Kishley. It's two.
Oh, why Kishley? What's Kishley? Kish?
Kishley.
Oh.
Yes. And my sister also has like D and then K. So Donna Keza, and I'm Dessa Kishley. So
Where's Kishley?
I don't know why. I don't know.
you never asked
I
her?
never asked why my name's Dessa and Kishley. Maybe because it just sounds nice.
I've never heard of a
From
Kishley.
them. Really? Yeah, me too. I don't know any Kishley.
Do you know another Dessa?
Yeah, I know some Dessas, but no Kishleys. I know a person named Keishi, but not Kishley.
Yeah, I've never heard of Kishley. Kish. Me Kish.
Yeah.
Kish. And so they can email you, DessaKishley at Gmail.
Yes.
Cool. Do you have any last message to the world, other Filipino Americans, other Filipinos, other
Well,
Chinese?
for Filipino Americans, I hope that in the future you'll be protecting your culture even if you go in other places. I mean, protecting meaning not being ashamed of it is simply protecting it, I would say. Being proud of what you are, what you eat, for example.
What you eat?
Yeah. I mean, Filipino food is the best.
Hell yeah.
You have to be proud of it.
I just had dinuguan.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So I'm kind of slow.
Yeah. And for students like us, don't forget that you have to, like what she said, bring back something to the Philippines. Because all of us here in the States, it's a privilege, I would say. Yeah. So be thankful.
What message do you have to future Dessa? At
My future
UCSD?
Dessa?
Yeah. Oh.
I hope that you find yourself. If you do graduate, make sure that you don't forget what your friends gave you, what your mentors told you. Don't forget your friends and people who have treasured you and gave you a family. Yeah. Because that's what will keep you on ground. Is that the right term? Grounded.
Yeah.
That's what we're gonna keep you grounded. Yes.
Yeah. Blah, blah, blah.
Bum, bum, bum.
Magtagalog ka naman.
Maraming salamat po, Kuya Christian, para sa oportunidad na ito. Hindi ko namalayan na magkakaroon ako ng ganitong kasing oportunidad na pakita ang aking musika at ang aking mga immigrant stories.
Oh.
Yes.
Tagalog ba yung immigrant?
Hindi ko alam ano ba Tagalog ng immigrant?
Ewan. Tao
na lumikas. Tao na lumayo. OFW.
Nagbiyahe.
Yeah.
Alright, salamat Dessa.
Thank
Thanks
you,
for
Kuya
coming on.
Christian.